Hey guys, welcome to my channel. These are free collective readings and they may not resonate with everybody. So take what resonates and leave the rest. The birds are going mad outside. The wolves. Okay, so what does my collective need to know? What does my collective need to know? We have a Capricorn, Vega or Taurus, okay. A wolf in sheep's clothing. In the background of this image, there is loads of shelves, okay, right, okay. There's loads of shelves in the background, I don't know if you can see that. And with the 10 of Wands, he's trying to make out like he's got a burdening amount of knowledge. A burdening amount of knowledge, but he's a fake, he's a fraud. He's not got a burdening amount of knowledge at all. He's caused nothing but stress. Could be trying to take on someone else's identity. 7 of Cups in reverse. And then we've got King of Wands. So he's gone to like a warlock. He's gone to a warlock to do some spellcasting. Okay. But he's jealous of your connection. Okay. So could have tried to take your enlightenment on as his own. Like your enlightenment knowledge on as his own. But he's not got the spiritual strength for the lion in the background. Okay, yeah. You're too strong for him and his team. You're too strong for him and his team. He just wanted to be able to move forward. Look, he's took hard work and perseverance of somebody else. 222. Yeah, some ideas. 6 of Cups. This is someone from past. This could be a sibling. This could be a cousin. Okay? He wanted to be seen as a star from family. We've got Justice, Libra energy. And then the 4 of Pentacles. A Libra could also be in possession, okay, of something. They're in possession, quite possibly a child or children, or they are very, very childish, very, very possessive, very, very controlling, trying to play happy families. Okay, they want to be seen as the star. They want to be seen as this knowledgeable one. Okay, they're taking hold of somebody else's ideas for themselves. Maybe several different ideas, several different like business ideas from someone who is very knowledgeable within their family. But with 6 of Cups, could be siblings involved. Okay, could be a Libra and an Aquarius friend. They're under judgment. Okay, they're under judgment. And then there's a message. There's messages. 8 or more messages. Page of Wands, 8 of Wands, and the Death card. Several different messages. The Fool card. To someone who is innocent. Like, several different messages about bringing an ending to someone who is innocent. They're guilty of taking someone else's studies. So somebody else's studies, okay, they're trying to possess them as their own. Somebody else's paperwork, somebody else's ideas, business ideas, and then there's 8 different messages or more surrounding bringing a death, an ending to the person who they've took this from, because they know they're guilty. They know they're guilty. With the Fool card, they're trying to make you fall into a trap. They want you to be on edge all the time. They want you to be riddled with anxiety, okay, sleepless nights, waiting for when the next attack comes, because they are taking somebody else's studies. It's a family, okay, look, several different times, because they want to take recognition, that's the truth. They want to take this success for themselves. Several different times or more, they got on to a hitman. That's the truth. Even a child has been involved, or child or children are in and amongst and around this. Child. We've got the Page of Cups. Someone who's very childish, look. You see this figure here? He's trying to actually take, they're trying to actually take someone else's spiritual elevation, and they want recognition, and they want people to look up to them. So it's someone who wants to be seen as some sort of, something to do with like public. Somebody who wants some sort of publicity. Nine of Pentacles, the World card, and the Ten of Pentacles and Five of Wands. The Knight of Cups. They are romanticising and fantasising. Okay? It's a big gang. They're all competing for this Ten of Pentacles. They could all actually be arguing with each other on how much they're getting of this generational wealth, but they're holding on to it. They're very mean, very possessive, very controlling. They're holding on to this generational wealth, and they do not want to let go. This is why they've got onto several different hitmen. Several different hitmen. Trying to take someone's innocent because they know they're guilty. Four of Swords. They've done this to somebody who's on their own a lot. So because they're on their own a lot and not following the crowd, this is why they've got so much knowledge. And this family, okay, this group, they took it for themselves, they split it amongst themselves. But the Ace of Cups in reverse, they've never actually loved this person. They've never held love in their heart for this person who they've done it to. So it's an easy job for them, or they thought it would be. But this person is too strong. Seven of Wands. They've been outnumbered. They're trying to penetrate this person's aura. They're trying to penetrate this person's aura. Take their full wealth. Take everything that they have, and they're in possession of a lot. And there's definitely messages where they're under judgment for Scorpio energy. They're trying to bring the spirit of death. They're all fake. They paid several different hitmen, okay? They, with this despair, created so much despair, okay? They just didn't want to have to work, alright? They just thought, if I take this and we split all this substantially larger amount of money between ourselves, then we won't have to go to work again. We could just go out and we can celebrate and we can party and we can just do a bit of doodling, you know, because something to do with doodling. We could just go out, celebrate, party. They could have opened business or businesses, some of them, because some of them don't want to have to go out and work, okay? Some of them with this journey, they've been meeting up and getting involved in drug trafficking, okay? Spending some of this stolen money on drug trafficking, meeting on up at borders, at docks, where ships coming in, or ferries. They chose to spend some of their part of the money what they took on drug trafficking, okay? Someone, this false person, has opened like a fake false business in with somebody else's money. this false person, they don't want their mask to slip. They don't want people to see them for how fake they really are. Like a false leader also, a public figure. 8 of Pentacles and 4 of Wands. They've been working with people in the local hometown, the local community. They've been working with people in the local hometown, in the local community. They've been doing candle magic. It could be something to do with music also, but they've been doing candle magic. They've been working with somebody in, or a few people in the local community doing candle magic a lot. Then we've got 3 of Pentacles, 9 of Cups and Queen of Swords. This Queen of Swords in reverse, Gemini, Libra or Aquarius, dreams about people thinking that they're this skilled. So they took somebody else's skills on as their own, somebody else's talents, and they dream about having these skills for themselves. But they're a liar. 11:11. So they've claimed to have these gifts, these skills, these talents for themselves. Okay, she, who's nothing but a fake ass cow, alright, along with her family, along with her friends, they've been paying for spell work. They've been working with people in the local hometown and driving or taking a journey into different towns, okay, to do spell work. And they've been journeying abroad, going on holiday, with their share of the money, what was never even theirs to take. They're so fake. They dream about having these skills, but they've not. They're stringing a lot of people on. A lot of people have been getting strung along. They've deliberately made this person ill via poisoning, okay? Could have poisoned some sort of weed. Alright, they've been deliberately poisoning something, a drink, which is very concerning. Yeah, there's even messages surrounding this sudden wealth, okay? So they're going to have to appear before a judge, and they're expecting that, okay? Because they have got involved in drugs trafficking, spending a lot of money on drugs trafficking. This Aquarius wants people to believe that she's a privileged lady, constantly pulling money from bank accounts because she has several different bank accounts what she's shifting money and quite possibly overseas. Her father is also involved in this theft, and then we've got child and then family room, okay? And then this father figure, this Queen of Swords in reverse, is also wanting to think that he's a wealthy man, but he's been getting involved in a lot of robbery, in a lot of theft, alright? Family room, linking to family, and there's several different accounts in child or children's names. Anyone who they've been courting or dating, okay, they have been working together with this occupation to keep the person who they've stolen from in poverty and deliberately make out like they are ill. Don't listen to them. They are ill because it's a substantially large amount of money, and they deliberately, okay, tried to make this masculine or feminine ill via poisoning because it's a substantially large amount of money, and they've been going all out. Now she has been giving gifts to her family, to her grandchild or grandchildren with stolen money, trotting around wanting to believe that she's high on her 1414. Meanwhile, journey around, okay, trying to get onto a hitman. Somebody who works in death magic because she wants her son to appear to be wealthy and like he's worked for his money. His lover is also involved. And their family. His lover is involved and their family. So there's a lot of people, so exes. Okay, we've got sibling energy, cousin type of energy, okay? Maybe even pals. All grouping up together for their shared hate. Because they don't want to see this person be doing well. This family is very childish, okay? And the person who they've done this to, they've had this gift since they was a child. And this is why family have always been on the lookout for when this money comes on in. Because this family knew that this child was very gifted. So it's already been premeditated, okay? This family, parental figures, they've always been waiting for this money to come on in so they can take it. So they can take it for themselves. They've got no compassion, no empathy, no remorse. They're all money power hungry, and they are doing everything they can to keep hold of this wealth for themselves, okay? Several or 8 or more different hits out, paying for different hitmen, alright, because they are jealous of this person's destiny, spiritual protection, spiritual knowledge, and their prosperity, their prosperous energy. That's why they've been doing candle magic, and they've been trying to cloak themselves in this person's energy, and they've been manipulating. They are committed with the 8 of Cups, 4 of Cups, to saying that this person lacks, to stop like a completion of a cycle. This person's lacking this, they're lacking that. And they could have tried to sacrifice. We've got a Queen of Cups, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio female involved, and a Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio masculine involved, wanted to keep it a secret that they are involved in trying to sacrifice this person for their own destiny. So we've got a Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio female, a Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio masculine. They want to keep it a secret, them and their friends, because they've invested a lot of money in weed, in a weed growers. Yeah, so they, in weed growers, in drugs trafficking, from like abroad, up and down the country, they've invested a lot of this money on weed growers. So they want, obviously, to be able to get weed really cheap, or they want to be able to get a load of free weed from all of this money. Them and their lovers, they want to make out like they are having a privileged life, an overprivileged life for the back of theft. They've also worked with a corrupt official, okay, a corrupt official occupation message to fabricate some sort of legal documentation, because they're still planning on bumping the person off. Look, change. Someone from family has been fabricating legal documentation because they're still planning on bumping this person off. The one who is actually gifted in this area, and maybe several different gifts, skills, talents, several different forms of study, several different forms of work, but they cannot copy and paste this spiritual ranking, is what I'm getting. So the one who they've done it to outranks them all spiritually. It's ridiculous. They have invested a lot of money in the weed growing business. Also, they're trying to plant some sort of evidence. They're trying to keep it a secret, these friends, that they're trying to plant some sort of evidence because they want there to be a lack of evidence on them. Could have been getting involved in false reporting. 8 of Swords, they don't want to go to prison. This Capricorn, who's been manipulating people to work with him, sneaking around, backstabbing, okay, stalking, spying, because they've took hold of this 10 of Pentacles, what they don't want to let go. They don't want to let go of. Them and their lover, so Capricorn and their lover. But Archangel Michael is illuminating that. A player type of energy. Playing games, maybe even an Aries involved. But heavy on the Capricorn energy. Playing games. Trying to bring a tower. Trying to bring chaos. There's a lot of chaos surrounding this. A lot of trauma. A lot of traumatic events. But they don't care. Very near-death experiences. but they don't care. They just want to get this job done. Some of them took money to pay off debts. Extortion, obtaining something, money through force or threats. When this all goes to trial, they're going to try and plead insanity. They've been trying to do some sort of satanic rituals, Baphomet rituals, conjuring devils and demons in order to attack. A lot of these people are addicted to drugs, alcohol, partying, stalking, definitely, looking for a hitman and a hitwoman. They're addicted. They're trying to find another hitman, hitwoman. They could have even wrote a child in with this Page of Cups placed on top of this like hitman type of energy. They could have also tried to pay a child to do this, because they think that the child could just get on the bike and run away and get away from the crime scene quickly. They're trying to do this to an air vendor. Someone who's innocent, then they know they're guilty. They know they're going to get found guilty also. They've done character assassination, okay, malicious and unjustified harming of a person's good reputation. So they've totally tried to assassinate this person's character. So everything they are as people, this is this person. So then it's going to be easier. They think it's going to be easier for the hitman to just pull the trigger. We've got abuse of power, unjust advantage of individuals, organisations or governments. So corrupt government officials are involved. Maybe because they know them from school or they've had some sort of sexual relationship with them in the past. Then we've got blackmailing, demanding money or another benefit in return of not revealing damaging or compromising info. So they're all blackmailing each other. Also, so anyone who's been involved, they're all going back to the one, okay? They're all saying, I'm skint, I ain't got nothing left, I'm skint. They've been getting flight tickets, okay? They've been paying people to stalk. Someone in this connection has a gender, a crisis. Stolen clothes, shoes, trainers, to pose to be you. So they're even posing to be this person online. This person out on the streets, okay, could have took some of their stolen clothes, shoes, trainers, to place at a crime scene, okay. Trying to stop a case going to trial. So they've done a smear campaign. Plan to discredit a public figure, false accusations. The corrupt to the core. Worried about being caught for evil acts and evil deeds for years. Trying to wrongfully imprison this masculine and feminine who's speaking out and trying to stand up for themselves. They're getting life in prison for their sinister crimes. So the one who keeps trying to stand up and defend themselves, alright, they're trying to lock the one up who's trying to defend themselves and trying to speak the truth. Because there's a corrupt judge, lawyer, solicitor and police involved. Some of these people, they're on the phones of prison pals talking about you, but their phone calls are being tapped. So they're saying, like, when you get out of prison, will you get this job done for me? And I will pay you this, and I will pay you that, which is incitement, provoking unlawful behaviour or urging someone to behave unlawfully. They're all cold, calculated killers. They've been paying for voodoo, hoodoo and root work. They've also been paying for suicide spells because they want the person they've stolen from to bump themselves off. If we can't bump them off, we'll have to try and do some suicide spells on them. So they wipe themselves out and then we can say, oh yeah, they were struggling with mental health and they were just suicidal. But this person's not going to bump themselves off. All going down, exposed. So at first they've done hitman, okay, several different hitman hit women, and then they've tried to poison this person, maybe via the weed, or via a drink, via a coffee, via tea, alright? They're all going down, they've been exposed. But they didn't want to go down. This is why they've put so much effort. These good police officers, they know they're putting on a bloody good show. These good law officials, they know they're all putting on a bloody good show. They've been going out partying and celebrating. The person who's speaking out keeps fighting for what you love, claim what's yours. Love is a battlefield, because they want everything back. But meanwhile, they've all been getting rooms, hotels, motels, suites, okay, business, pleasure. And then they're going to want to, these fake, corrupt police officers and corrupt law in the courtroom, okay, because they've been caught out for being very jealous and envious, alright, they are going to give a fake apology. Oh, I'm really sorry, but it's not going to cut it. An apology is not going to cut this. They knew exactly what they was doing. They wanted to build a criminal enterprise, okay? But they've been getting recorded. Their phone calls, wherever they go, okay? They just wanted to fulfill a fantasy in their own world, cashing checks into their bank account. It's game over. Because they're all nothing but a set of copycats. They know they fucked up, okay? It's going to explode when their doors go through, alright? When they're not going to know when it's hitting them, okay? It's going to be one of them. I can't remember what movie it is. If you know what movie it is, when I explain it, comment the movie below. But 2727, there's like a man and he's going to arrest someone, but you've got to give him like the warrant or something first. But they open the door and he just chucks it in the property and then he just gets in the end and then arrests them. I can't remember what film it is though, for the life of me. But he just throws the warrant through the door real quick. So even these corrupt law officials, they're getting taken down, okay? They're going to get found guilty. They're going to have to stand before a proper judge. We've got destroyed, shattered, broken, fucked up. Any businesses, what they built off the back of this person's wealth, off the person's work, ideas, or what, they're going to have to get closed down. Because it's a fraudulent business from the start. We've got CID, FBI, CIA, feds. Who are onto them. They're all in like Jezebel succubus type of energy. Okay? Jezebel succubus type of energy. And they're very, very envious. And they're always in their fields. Why should they have this money? And even these Jezebels, okay? There's evidence on them causing total drama. These Jezebels, these succubuses, these females causing total drama, okay? They know they fucked up. They're going to have to appear. Yeah, they're going to try and run away. Okay? They just wanted to get a load of weed to smoke, some of them. Yeah. These promiscuous females, they just wanted a load of weed to smoke. They just wanted to deliberately rile, gossip, okay, backstab, betray, and then cause some sort of anger while they're being very manipulated, and then run away. Because somebody has got a corrupt copper within their family who's also going down. They're going to be furious. They're going to be furious because this corrupt copper wants to be seen as a leader of a criminal enterprise. Thinks he can get any one of his family members or any one of his pals off with a lot of corruption. So he's going to be absolutely furious when he gets taken down. And all these hussies have been doing everything they can. These hussies, a lot of hussy type of energy, playing mind games, because they know they've took some sort of like bank details or card details or birth certificates, and they know that there's several different bank accounts and money getting shifted, and they're all claiming to be skin. I ain't got no money, I'm skin. But there's several different bank accounts. Maybe even offshores, maybe even overseas. Maybe when they was flying out to different countries, they was only going over there to pay for spell work and to open an account in some child or children's name. We've got a nurse and a carer involved in putting it out. So someone who's a nurse and a carer could be a cousin, could be a sibling, always been jealous of their own cousin or sibling's gifts. So this nurse, this carer, started paying a hitman, bringing this darkness to light, shopping with cloned cards, fake cards from these accounts, trying to create a crime scene, okay? Place this person at a scene of a crime because they've got corrupt law with them. But this nurse, this carer, she, they have been putting it out and paying a hitman because they don't want to let go of this money. They want to keep it for themselves. They're adamant that they're keeping hold of this money for themselves. They are mentally immature and they don't want to hear that they've been getting watched by the higher-ups. Okay, who's been gathering information on this very, very, very corrupt family. And somebody who is a prostitute is involved. So a prostitute is involved. Sex worker, whatever they want to call themselves. A prostitute is involved. I've just split the deck again, look. A very manipulating prostitute who's very insecure, and their bank account is now under investigation along with these fake friends who's got involved, because all of their bank accounts are getting checked because they're using this stolen money, okay, to put hits out, because they're very envious of the person's gifts, skills and talents, and they want to destroy the real person. They want to claim that they've got depression. So a lot of them, a lot of them are on depression tablets. A lot of them are on depression tablets. All grouped up to destroy one person's life. Dangerous driving also on the road. So it's game over. Maybe some people are losing their cars, bikes, dangerous driving, maybe even got the kids' bikes and stuff like that. It's game over for them because they've been dangerous driving on the road, and even kids have been driving around on bikes with guns because they was going to get some sort of a check, or they was going to get some sort of cash in hand, or they was going to get a load of drugs. So the kids are probably grassing these adults up. They have been getting kids to pass guns around. Like, I can't even believe how sinister this group is. I can't, because I've been through pretty much similar answer. But cousin, paying a hitman, nurse, carer, paying a hitman, putting it out because again, they do not want to let go, they do not want to lose. And then they're paying for stalking and spying. Maybe the one who, here we go, we've got the bent copper. The one who they've been, Jesus, trying to set up for crimes. This person is going to get cleared in the courtroom, okay? Because they've been tracking this person's location and creating false narratives. Someone who's like a university student or an ex-university student, creating a false narrative, dark practitioner, black magic, hoodoo, voodoo, root worker, so they've done it a lot. And this person could also get, when it goes to a real judge, a proper judge, alright, and it all comes out, they might even get their criminal record cleared in the end. Because of all these people who's tried to keep the general public and keep anyone outside of their criminal enterprise blind to what they are doing. Because I don't know why these people have some sort of gangster mentality, and the more money they've got hold of, the more they instantly think that there's some sort of mafia. And they've been trying to get anyone they can to bow down to them and obey their demands and commands. Anyone, even kids, go do this for me, and the kids just jump on up, and the kids just do this. Even if they know it's a pack of lies, the kids will just do it anyways. Because with this like panda, they don't want to get beat up. They don't want to get beat up and end up with black eyes. So some of the kids are just doing anything they can. And the one who they've lied about, they don't want to hear these type of lies because that's not in their character. Totally outnumbered by a set of envious, jealous snakes who have always wanted to backstab, betray and break this person because they've got depression, 37, and they're depressed, and they thought that if they was to start cashing these checks into their accounts, they'd be really happy. And they was laughing. They was laughing, but then they were still not happy enough. They were still envious of the person who they stripped of everything. And I mean, they took absolutely everything. But they've always been secret enemies. Even these friends, even people in the local hometown have always been secret enemies. They've been paying for sex magic. It's a fatal attraction. Maybe quite possibly a friend or a family member has a thing for the person. So maybe even incest. A lot of sex magic. Trying to drain this person's energy, this masculine or feminine energy, who they've done it to. They've left digital footprints when they've been stalking. Trying to drain this person's energy so they can cloak themselves in this energy. But they're a narcissist. They need to grow up. Because they're very childish, they're very pathetic, and they're very immature. Been sending flying monkeys, okay, to attack on their behalf, out of jealousy, out of spite. And then they all instantly get jealous when they find out how gifted this person really is. Then they all get envious. So it's a very jealous, envious group who's got inflated egos, where they think that they're bigger than. But they're paranoid about getting caught. Something to do with a black van, rail friends. Maybe even trying to do some sort of a kidnapping. Trying to destroy the real person's business or businesses by taking credits, by taking rights, by taking ownerships. Someone with blonde hair is involved in bullying in groups. They are also a narcissist. They're going to get done for lying on her. Germany or German type of energy. Corrupt judge, alright? And they're wanting protection to cover their corruption. So a corrupt judge, a corrupt judge involved. This judge is weird though. They're an absolute weirdo. They give off nothing but weirdo vibes. They're a freak, alright? Obviously, with this level of corruption, what they're involved in, that's why they're going to be outed for being one of these evil, horrible, corrupt judges who's into like incest and stuff like that. Because I'm getting incest. Who's into sexually degrading people. They love it. They love sexually degrading people. They really do. But they've also been getting tracked. They're going to have to appear before a proper judge who's not going to take this lightly. And they're going to be handing down sentences. But it's going to come back to the rightful person. The rightful person is going to be successful in business. And even this corrupt judge has been trying to. Because they want this person to obey them. Okay? Cameras inside the home. But you can't start obeying corrupt law and what they want and what they think. But especially when they're lying in documentation. No. So, linking to London. Someone with brown eyes. Okay? Pissed off you don't fancy them. They're all needing to grow up. Abusing law for selfish gains. Maybe even sexual favours for immunity. Signing legal documents to claim assets. Forged fraud. Judge has been helping. Judge has been helping. Judge has been helping. A judge has been helping. Somebody in this connection took a cut of the money so they could get themselves a new motorbike, and they opened another bank account to deposit money in, or they put some money in another bank account. They've all been lapping each other out. They're a set of spiritual haters because the person who they've done this to, I said they can't copy that spiritual ranking, didn't I? 42. So they've turned into a spiritual hater. Meanwhile, they're doing some dark energy work, okay? They've been trying to message on Insta, Facebook, stuff like that. The ones who's got inflated egos, identity theft, and posing to be somebody. These narcissists, these flying monkeys, they thought it was perfect, but these fake accounts have been getting shut down. So maybe the good law is onto what they are doing, because I'm getting that good law is onto it. But if anyone's been making fake accounts in this masculine or feminine's name, the good law officials have been shutting them down because they've been posing to be this person online in order to create arguments. Messaging in someone else's name. These animals, someone who wants to be seen as a beast is going to have a heart attack. They've always been lacking empathy or remorse, and they've got a lot of blood on their hands. They have a lot of blood on their hands. Always trying to create blockages and distractions. Could have a YouTube channel, okay? They want to gain respect by stealing. Don't have to have a YouTube channel, but that's just for some, or this person has a YouTube channel. They're their own boss, and they're stealing work. Someone with a big nose involved in stealing ideas, look. I can't even make it up. Swear. So we've got fake walls, storing drugs and money, cupboards, okay, safes within their property, safes with a load of stolen money in. Yeah, and they're going to lose everything. And the kids who's been involved in the middle of this, okay, the younger ones, they're going to get put up for in a foster home or up for adoption. Deluded to think they're getting away with it. They're so deluded. They thought it was a perfect plan. You know, people in all areas, brainwashing, blackmail, grooming. They just want a reaction or bite out of you. So this is what they're doing. They're sending kids and everything to chat shit, to start an argument, alright, get the person mad angry, and they run off, and they maybe get a couple of quid under the table or a pat on the back. So even if this person has child or children, they are using child or children to start arguments and say, go on, we'll give you a couple of quid. So even child or children, depending on age, could end up going to prison. Okay. Them and the bugaboos, a child and their partner, okay, or a young female or a young masculine is also facing prison charges. They've stirred up so much drama and they're all tired. They're all tired and they're all exhausted from trying to take this one person down. They're all exhausted. Because, well, it's all an act. Oh, look, false reports also. False reporting. Linking to London. So either one or some of these people live in London or they used to live in London. One or the other, alright? Filing false reports. But maybe these good cops knew that these compulsive liars was filing these false reports in order to cover their backs. We've got murderer on the loose, serial killer. So somebody within this connection, maybe even a few, they're serial killers. And they're quite possibly linking to other crimes, unsolved crimes, in their local area. Yeah, 10 of Swords, them and the partner, unsolved crimes. Them and the partner, unsolved crimes. They either do this on innocent people or they do this on the youth. Yeah, they follow them in a car or a bike or on foot and they stalk these people. In order to gain some sort of control. 3 of Wands, they always expand online, on the web. They always expand online on the web. Like always messaging each other and then get them to message from their account or make another account, and all these they've been traced back. They've been traced back to, and they think that even if they delete these accounts, that they're not going to be able to trace, but they are. They are. They're all getting traced back and they're all going down. Stolen ID on dating sites. They cause such a mess because they're involved in a lot of stolen identity. And plagiarism. Stealing somebody else's work and claiming for it to be of their own, out of people to cover their backs. They just wanted to keep annihilating this person's character. You know, gob off at them. Say this about them. Say that about them. And get them to get angry. And then they start pulling money from accounts or meeting on up. It's organised crime. Full of perverts too. They want to be involved in some sort of secret society, secret clubs, secret organisations underground. We've got a councilwoman, councilman, council person, regional government or local authority involved in this corruption. So they're going to lose their power position. We've also got a clergy, a priest, a bishop, cardinals, preachers, pastor, pope, or a minister. Someone linking to a church involved. They've been caught stalking this person and false accusations, and they're going to be exposed. Wowie wowie. They're all going to be exposed by these really good undercover cops because they're all cold, calculated killers. So it's linking to some sort of a corrupt church. Then we've got poison manipulation. I said they was involved in poisoning. 49. Poison manipulation. venom manipulation, various toxins inflict negative effects upon target to cause total paralysis or even kill someone outright. So they're all going down for attempted murder and multiple other murders. A full police force is also under investigation. Okay. Could be a false prophet, fake reader involved. Alright. Could have fallen out with these people, so they're doing unblock me spells. I knew someone was addicted to alcohol because it's just confirming there. I mean, it did say addicted to drugs, and it just said addicted to drugs, but I knew there was alcohol involved in there. Invading your privacy, stalking or spying, they're all grassing each other up, and this criminal enterprise is going down. They will be dishonoured and disgraced publicly. So they're all going to be publicly disgraced. All of them. Every single one of them. Because there's a lot of injustice. Alright, but justice card isn't upright. They know the time's up. They're all grassing each other up because they want to get a lesser sentence. So they're all grassing each other up because they want to get a lesser sentence. There's even like teenagers involved in this who are going down for carrying some sort of weapons, or maybe even attempted murder, or maybe in getting involved in stalking. Could be a Leah involved in this stalking. Look, 7 of Swords. Could be a Leah involved in this stalking because they don't want to go to prison. Alright? And with this Capricorn, because heavy on the Capricorn, could be a couple of different Capricorns. So a Leah doesn't want to go to prison because they've been helping this Capricorn from family. And they live in the local community and they've been working together, but justice will be served. They just wanted to keep it a secret on how it was all premeditated with a Cancer Pisces Scorpio female and a Cancer Pisces Scorpio masculine. And they thought there was something, taking somebody else's ideas, somebody else's work, and then partying and celebrating, pissing it all up the wall, getting off the tips on drugs, okay, doing weed grows, alright, but they keep getting raided. So the good law officials have been collecting evidence. And they've just been getting back-to-back raids. So they know someone's onto them. Full community involved. Back-to-back raids. And they're still targeting the person they've stolen from. Married couple involved. He thought he'll get involved and put some money in his account. So that's why he's going to court. And he's going to prison for getting involved in this theft. Because they wanted to buy themselves a nice big posh home. And there's evidence of this. So this married couple, he thought, you know, he'll get involved in this theft. So he's going to have to appear at court and they're all going to prison. Thank God for that though. Because it just feels like this has been going on for years. All the deceit, all the backstabbing, all the betrayal. None of these people know what loyalty is. They're only staying loyal to their own agenda. They're only staying loyal to bringing death to somebody else's destiny. Because they don't want to see them have like some sort of ultimate happiness and have their own home. No way. They're doing everything they can to block this with this corrupt solicitor, corrupt attorney. Who's now trying to get away. Who's been sneaking around trying to get flight tickets abroad to get away. Because they was defending the wrong party. They was just dreaming about moving forward, but now with the 8 of Swords, they're going to prison and they're going to face proper judgment with these scales. And they just wanted to go abroad with some money, some of them. thought that they would be happy, but they've even got raided abroad, is what I'm getting. They've even got raided abroad, 54-54, because they're involved in a lot of murders. All going to prison, all going to be judged. Some of them just wanted to get on the property ladder. Ace of Swords, that's the truth. And because of what they've all been getting involved in, these good law officials are piecing the puzzle together. Missing pieces of puzzles to other crimes, along with this corrupt lawyer, solicitor, attorney. Knight of Swords. It could be Anne Son's company. Yeah, and it's going down. Time's running out. So they're losing the companies and everything because, well, if they have a law company, what is supposed to bring justice, and they never bring justice, all the fives there, they never bring proper justice, all they do is get involved in corruption and money under the table, what's the point in them having a business if they never bring justice? So a lot of law firms are going down. Wow. A lot. A lot. And then trying to send someone towards this masculine or feminine to date them for clout. Yeah, I've been there. Yeah, I've been there. Yeah, I got in there and I stole some of the money, or I stole some of their belongings, or and proper buzzing about it. Proper buzzing about it. I mean proper buzzing. Yeah, I got in there. I started arguments with them and I was making them pop off. And there was actually a hitman, or involved with a hitman, starting arguments, making them pop off because they wanted some drugs and money under the table. So even paid a hitman to go in and date. This hitman has a child. Yeah. Wow. So yeah, I'm going to leave that there. I feel like it's been like a wild goose chase. You know, these undercovers must be like all over them, just watching them, thinking, you're going to face a proper good judge who's going to annihilate you in that courtroom because there's this unsurmountable amount of evidence, is what I'm getting. So there's no way they're going to be able to get away with it. This is why the Eight of Swords is there, and the truth will be told, and they will face judgment, okay? Because this, with the Chariot card, this is a good law. This is the good law. Send a peace, love and light. If that really resonated, don't forget to like, comment, share your experience. Mention the names, you know, if you want to. It's up to you. Peace out.